from the Drunken Leather Quarantine Show, presented to you by the Woolen Comedy Club. Here to remind you this is a very adult show featuring very adult subjects and very adult topics. If you're ready for a very adult evening, please get ready for the Drunken Under Quarantine Show Season 3. Remember, stay safe, stay drunk, stay underwhelming.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. I'm, of course, Drunk Under. Welcome back to the Drunk Under Quarantine Show Season 3, Episode 3, featuring Brad from 5 Times August. We got a lot to get into tonight, including some shortages. We're going to talk about the minute. We got a lot to get into. So without further ado, I want to read Sean's comment real quick because he opened up with a very beautiful one. Real early down the comment, Sean said, "Good evening, my fellow Patriots, and a special welcome from the comment section to Brad. It's not every day I get to have brain banter with such a talented, influential artist. I'm very blessed." He also wrote a few minutes later, "As a chronic commenter on platforms across the globe, I've taken great pleasure in introducing 5 Times August music. Through suggestions, I've undoubtedly seen nothing but positive reactions. So thank you for the kind words to start off the show. And let's get into it. This is going to be a fun evening. So without further ado, welcoming to our spotlight stage, my man, my boy, my comrade, who was there with me, or not with me, but with Kyle Hickory at Thunderdome last Saturday and had a blast, Mr. G.W. Foley. That one.
Hey, what is up, motherfuckers? It is Wednesday night. I got the alert on my phone. I was a little scared because it wasn't popping up. I was like, oh no, we're going to have to look at that. But we don't have to because it showed up and we're live on YouTube, which is every boy's fantasy, right? Like, let's be real. Like, everyone's like, I want my own internet show. Right? We got one, bitch. I have something very serious I need to talk to the world about, and I think people are going to look at me differently after I talk about it. And I had to question myself when this happened, but I recently bought a pair of flip-flops. I don't know what came over me. I'm not a flip-flop dude. I do not have a flip-flop soul. But I needed something to wear outside when I go have cigarettes. And I was like, I need something slightly waterproof because, like, I had house slippers that I was wearing, but I wore them out too much from walking. And there was giant holes. And then last Saturday we had a tsunami at my house. And I went outside for a cigarette in the rain, and they just got drenched. And I was like, that's it. You're done. Goodbye. See you later. And I was like, I need something a little more waterproof. So I was like, flip-flops. Turns out thongs suck. As someone who has worn thongs, the underwear, and wears thongs and flip-flops, they both suck. I don't like things in between crevices of my body. Especially my butt cheeks. Which, by the way, like, how do women wear thongs without getting, like, a giant brown stain? Like, you know, like, have you ever thought of that? Like, how do they keep those things clean? Because, you know, I came from a long line of skid marks in my family. My grandpappy had them. My daddy had them. I have them. I at least don't wear, like, tighty-whitey briefs, but you have to wear, like, colored patterned underwear, so, like, the skid marks kind of camouflage. That's what I know. I finally finished school, which is excellent. Thank you. Until the fall, where I go to a new school. And I'm pissed because they're making me take getting a booster shot in order to go on campus. And I'm like, I'm 42 years old. I'm overweight and I smoke. Chances are COVID isn't the thing that's going to kill me. chances are I'm going to have a heart attack in the middle of a discussion with some kid who doesn't know shit about shoelaces, and just like there's going to be a brain hemorrhage because I'm going to sit there and be like, "You are fucking stupid. Shut the fuck up." And that's why I was going to school online, so I wouldn't have to deal with people like that, and I could censor myself a little easier. Because all I was doing was typing comments, and I could be like, "Oh, that's a really nice comment." ... And in my head, I'm like, "You are a stupid asshole." So I don't know how doing things in person is gonna go for me. Maybe it will go well, and people will look at me as like the cool uncle, or they're gonna look at me as the creepy uncle, which I'm fine with. Like, I can do a great Aqualung impersonation. Just sit on a bench eyeing little girls. She's pretty. For those who don't know, that was a Jethro Tull reference. Gotta fucking love it. I got a new computer that I'm currently running on right now, which when I bought it, I got like I tried to get like the top specs going for me, and turns out I probably didn't really need it, but it's fast as shit, which is great. Like I opened up Adobe Premiere and started fucking around, and everything was so quick and fast, and like I didn't have lag. I'm like, this is gonna be great until I get a 4K camera and start shooting things in 4K and slow the fuck down again. And I'm gonna be like, God damn it, I'm back where I started. Of course, you have to have money to have a 4K camera. They just don't put those out. I'm actually really scared because, for those who don't know, I'm going to school for film production, and the last time I went to school, we had VCR tapes for our movie making process, and it sucks so bad because it looked so terrible, like 480p at best. The cinematography would like cut up because you'd use the same tape over and over again. So there'd be like this key scene in your movie where like the protagonist is talking to the love interest and like he's expelling everything that he has to like her and going like, "I love you, baby, I love you." And all of a sudden like it cuts out and like you see Monday Night Raw from like 3 weeks ago. Like, that's not supposed to be part of the movie. And the kids today don't know that struggle. And, like, I don't want to use the fucking equipment at the college. Like, unless it's, like, extremely better than mine, which I doubt, I don't want to use it. I don't. Because I don't know where they touched it and what they filmed with it. Because there's some creepy shit on college campuses. There we go. If I said that properly, that would have worked better. Like, a lot of weird shit. And I'm just, I don't know. I'm going to stick out like a sore thumb. Like, minus the fact that I'm a 6 foot, 300-pound ginger. Like, I am literally going to stick out. Be like, "Oh, who's that grandpa? That's so cool. He's spending his retirement years getting an education." That's how it feels. Anyways, that's enough of me rambling. Let's turn it over to Kyle and oh no. Fuck that guy. Fuck Kyle Hickory. We're gonna turn it over to Hickory the Drunken Underwhelming.
Saturday night was the night that kayfabe died. No, it wasn't. Back in 2000 with Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Shawn Michaels, Triple H in the ring. I don't know if you know what I'm referencing there, Brad. That's back in WWF. Back in the day, it was the day that kayfabe. Yeah, it was that long ago. Yeah, it was a World Wildlife Foundation. They were wrestling, and there was a moment after a pay-per-view match where Kevin Nash and Scott Hall were leaving the company, and the two good guys and the two bad guys hugged in the ring after a match, and it was like the night that the Illusion died. Yeah, famous moment.
Now 25% of that hug is dead.
Oh, yeah, poor Razor. Anyways, Sean said, I believe, he's talking about thongs, GW. He said, I believe it to be one long callus is formed to protect and reduce sensitivity. Nice. One strip of callus right up the crack there. Nick said, what is up, motherfuckers? What's going on, Nick? Good to see you. He also said, hello, Alice Michelle Sterling. I guess, are you creeping, Alice? Say hi if you are. Shannon Garcia dropped by. Say good evening, guys. Good evening, Shannon. We hope you're well. She's a regular in the comments. Sean also said, GW, please do not be Jabba the Slut. Run from the needle.
Unfortunately, I can't run from it. And I don't give a shit. Like if you don't want to take it, don't take it. But
he's taking it for monetary gains, yo.
Yeah, the amount of drugs I've put in my body that I have no idea what were in, like, little chemical X will.
Okay, let's do a card trick. This is my favorite card trick. I figured it would be fun to show Brad this one. I do enjoy it. I'm gonna riffle through the cards, Brad. Something like that. Mm-hmm. And you're just gonna say stop whenever you'd like. We're gonna select a card. You ready?
Yep.
Okay.
Stop.
Right up there. Okay. We got a 4 of clubs on a jumbo deck because I'm kind of light on new decks of cards, and it's like I don't want to go on the show with Brad and have a card missing from the deck. That would be embarrassing.
I would have known. Totally would have known.
Yeah, you would have called me out in a heartbeat. Like any good patron of the arts would. Mm-hmm. So we got a card, and normally if we were live at a show and you were a person in a crowd, you would sign it yourself, which would be great, but we can't do that. And since we're online, it would be very unfair if I just signed Brad or 5 times August on a card, because obviously I knew it was you on the show. So what I like to do is I like to have people pick a random name. Could be a phrase, could be a couple numbers, whatever you want, to make sure that this card didn't have that written on it before, and that it's something that I wouldn't have known you were going to say.
All right. Write down Johnny.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Now, are the two Johnnies spelled differently?
Oh, well, the top one is Johnnny. Do you want the bottom one a different?
Yeah. No, make it the same. Make it the same. It's okay.
Okay. Johnny. Okay.
Johnny.
That sounds like it's going to be another song of yours.
Oh, Johnny. Okay, so we're going to take card, tear it up. Let's leave a corner to show you that was the 4 of clubs. Johnny written on it. This is the point where I try to do the magic, but the magic doesn't normally work. I do enjoy this type of thing. It's worth giving a college try. And still haven't broken out the new wand, so we'll break out the... Oh no, the Harry Potter Lego wand's missing a... Oh, there we go.
Now it's going to work.
Yep, now it's going to be... Maybe that's what I was missing the whole time. Anyways, so in traditional magic fashion, if you were to tap that, you might be able to heal the card, which I'm not very good at. So it doesn't normally work. I know, but what I can share with you fairly is that I did manage to make any hint of Johnny vanish off that 4 clubs. Okay, I know, kind of magical. And as you might have noticed up on the board behind me,
Oh.
There's been a card folded up the whole time.
I like where this is going.
Let us take that. And show you
How?
that there was a card
I'm gonna have to go back and watch this in slow-mo later.
signed Johnny back up on there.
How did that happen?
It's
You got a
magic.
collection back there.
Because I really, I hate to say it, I love this. I love it because it works really well in the space. But it was also one where I was like, it's Brad's so good. I gotta like bring a really good one. I can't be dicking around this time.
I love it. I love magic.
Thank you.
Do you want to know a factoid about me? I might have mentioned this last time. I don't know if I did or not. But I am a lifetime member of the International Magicians Society.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Now,
I didn't know that.
I joined when I was 11. I have not been active since I was 11. But I am a member forever. My mom signed me up.
Aw.
when I was way into magic as a kid. But I've always loved magic, and so I love magic tricks like that. So bravo!
Thank you. It's a fun, beautiful art, and I have a lot of fun with it live because it involves a lot of interaction. I think
Yeah.
the last show I did, I brought 5 different guests up on stage throughout the course of my like half-hour long set. Mm-hmm. And at the end, people were like, "Is he gonna call in another person?" Dobby says, "I'm gonna say the name wrong." GW, help me out here. Marlena? Marcy. Sorry, Marcy. Marcy says, "Howdy, gents." Sean says, "Watching you sing to the vaccine injured in Los Angeles gave me such hope, while at the same time stirred a rage within me. Is there hope to be had? And these questions we might answer." But without further ado, welcome to our spotlight stage, a man we are very, very excited to have back on the show. A man who's been doing a crazy fucking amount of work, being all over the place, cruising around, being on all sorts of awesome shows, and super glad he took the time to be on ours. Please welcome to our spotlight stage, Brad from 5 Times August.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you, Brad.
Is this the part of the show where I talk for a little bit?
Yeah, you do whatever you want, man.
Oh, jeez.
It's the
I'll tell
Drunken
you a
Under
story.
Quarantine show. Please do.
I'll tell you a story. I was afraid I was going to have to reschedule tonight. I almost didn't make it, but today's been a crazy day because my kids are wrapping up school and everything and all their activities. We got dance and soccer and all sorts of just stuff, and it's like the end of the school year. And in the midst of me picking them up today and doing all this other stuff, I had to fix our upstairs toilet. And I had to, it was a situation where the handle broke a few nights ago. And then in order to fix the handle, I had to turn off the water. And then I was like, oh, I've got to do this other stuff to it because I realized we had never updated our toilet. So I was like, well, I'll just do this. So anyways, it was one situation after another that led to me almost replacing the entire insides of our toilet. And then I had to replace the valve, and I had to go outside and shut the water off to our entire house. And then I had to do all this toilet maintenance in between picking up my kids and stuff. And I was like, if I can't turn back the water on before this evening, then I'm going to be in a tight spot. So anyway, long story short, that is to say, it's an interesting time because that's my day to day, is being a dad and doing house stuff. And then, you go to LA and you become a rock star for 5 minutes on stage, and then you come back home and, there's just all this stuff. But that's kind of what I love about this movement of these people. Everybody who's there in LA is focused on their family, and like Del Bigtree was there, and his kids were running around and they were doing stuff. His wife was there, and we're all just people doing our day to day, and then we people get to know us for these certain things that we're doing right now. But it's just different because coming from the music industry. And I've always sort of been an outsider looking in on the major part of the music industry, the mainstream thing. I've been independent for 20 years in music. So there's this persona that you have to keep up with, that you're larger than life, or you're this big person, and I was never into that. And so to be a part of like with these people, and just to be a regular person, it's nice to be able to do that, and and that the people discovering the music, like Sean, I'm glad you connected with the music. I appreciate it, because we're on the same page. Like everybody that's been discovering my music for the last year, we're on the same page. All the fans that bailed on me early on because they didn't like what I was saying, fans that I've accumulated over 2 decades. It turns out I guess there just wasn't that much there. But these, new fans that are here now, these are like the people I want to connect with. That we're just one and the same. They're the kind of people I want to stay with. So I don't know how my toilet story ended up working its way back around to that, but but that's where I started. I wasn't sure what I would be talking about this evening, but that was my day. That's what I was doing, and and then in the middle of that, I'm promoting a new single, and so
Yeah.
it's one of those things. It's been an interesting week. Every week is different, but you're trying to sort of balance doing what's right and putting up the good fight, and doing what's good for your family, and all that stuff. It's crazy. It's crazy time.
Very much so.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much to report other than that's just what I do every day. Is I'm a dad, and then I make music, and then I'm a dad, and then I'm a husband, and then I make music, and then I go somewhere, and that's it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's
That
turn
Miley
it.
Cyrus life,
That what?
Hannah Montana life.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
it's exactly like Hannah Montana. If you ever watched an episode of Hannah Montana,
That's how Brad's modeled his entire career.
yes. I saw her once when I was in New York. I guess it would have been 2006 or 7. It was right at the beginning of Hannah Montana, and I went to a taping of Total Request Live
Oh
at
wow!
MTV,
Yep.
and she was the guest, and so was John Legend, and everybody got a copy of Hannah Montana, the TV show, on DVD.
Oh.
And I'll tell you what I did with my copy of it is I took it to Walmart and got store credit to Walmart. I returned it to the store. I was like, well, I'm not going to watch this. I might as well just make sure somebody else out there gets it. So that's what I did with it. But that was an interesting experience, going to see a taping of Total Request Live. And it was like right before MTV was officially like just dead.
Yeah.
It
before he
was
died.
like they're still holding on to like the idea of top 10 music video shows, and then after a while it was just like, all right. I don't even know, is MTV still a thing? Is that still on? I don't know, with all the streaming services and platforms, like what are they showing now? Pregnant teenager shows still? And
I know they bought God, what was the cool channel that used to show just live shows all the time? They bought what?
Palladium?
Yep, they bought Palladium at one point, I think, and it became like MTV Live, I think, and then I think they still have like 3 channels of just like music videos. I have no idea if the actual, because MTV was just like Road Rules and Real World by the end of it.
Literally, what they play now is Ridiculousness with Rod Diedrich.
Yep.
Like they're like internet prank show, or
Yeah, their
video
Tosh
show.
0.0 version.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
yeah. And a lot of my career started out with a lot of ties to MTV, because they were playing a lot of my music on reality shows like Laguna Beach and Real World back in the day. I had a lot of placements on those
That's awesome.
shows. And it was something that really taught me about marketing, because I took that MTV logo and put it right next to my name everywhere I went. I was heard on MTV, and when I'd show up to college campuses, even if they hadn't heard of me, they'd go, well, he was on MTV. And so it's funny to see how that had an effect on things early on. But But it was also kind of embarrassing because I hated those kind of shows too. It was something that I I had to be grateful for, but at the same time, like I was like, yeah, it's on this TV show, and that rich teenagers talking about going to prom and stuff. But it was what it was. It was back in the day. But
It was a paycheck, man.
Oh yeah, and I'm grateful for it now for sure. But early on, like I think a lot of musicians, they have a lot of expectations and a lot of ego involved, and I've gone through all that. Whereas like my music now is just like it's for people. It's for it's for people in this time. I think a lot of my music early on was like, this is me and what I'm going through in my love life, and I hope that you connect with it, and it's very like egocentric, so to speak. But I don't know. There you have it.
Okay, we'll play the mid part and get into the talk show. Boom, one done. Yeah, that was awesome. Brad, thank you for being here, brother. It's awesome to have you on. And we got some questions coming up here. First, Sean said, what?
We need to change the layout.
Oh, no, I put up the wrong one? Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Thank you. That was silly. Sean asks a very important question. Brad, did you pay yourself $60 an hour for the plumbing work?
No, and it shows. No, I'm the guy that's like, well, maybe I can do it myself on every single project around the house in order to save $60 an hour. I redid our shower last year, and that was like a big project, way bigger than I thought it was going to be, and it took me a whole year to do it because it's something that I wish I had paid some guys to come in and knock out over the weekend, because by the time all is said and done, I'm like looking at my shower, I'm like, yeah, it's all right, but it took me like a whole year to do it because I was so busy with other things, and but now I know how to do a shower.
Yeah.
So there's that. When I'll do another shower, I don't know, but it probably cost me twice as much too.
Do it yourself. Yeah, that's how my projects end up a lot of the time, to be honest. Nick said, Brad, that's better than shutting off the Wi-Fi. The kids would really freak out about that nowadays. Talking about, instead of, you said you were saying about you had to shut off the water to fix the plumbing.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, good thing you didn't have to shut off the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, in this house we try to balance that pretty good. My kids are still young enough. My oldest is 10, and we're trying to like really be careful with how much internet they get, actually, because
understood.
You see the kids out there, and I'm guilty of it just as much because I'm online all day, promoting my music or whatever, doing stuff like this, and my kids see me on it, but I have to explain like, well, I'm working. I'm not like just
I'm not just flipping through.
Yeah, so yeah, I've got some nieces that are on the internet a lot, and like when you try to talk to them now, face to face, it's a whole different experience, and it's kind of awkward.
It's surreal what it does to people.
Mm-hmm.
Nick said, and your music is killer, Brad.
Thanks, Nick.
Sean said, this is talking about you should have paid somebody. He said, that's why the pharaohs never built their own pyramids. Yes, because it would have taken 10 times longer and cost twice as much.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we're looking to have somebody build a deck for us, as opposed to me undertaking that and it taking 2 years to get done. It should be a weekend project.
Two YouTube videos and like you watch 2 YouTube videos for like 5 minutes, you scroll through and you're like, I think I can do this. That's how I approach everything. Yep. And then I like 2 days into the project, I'm like, what am I doing? Why did I do this? Why did I do this to myself?
That is my everyday life, is saying that to myself.
What am I doing?
What am I doing? God.
The sad part is he doesn't even have the I can do this to begin with. It's just, what am I doing?
What am I doing all the time? Oh, gosh.
Oh, no wonder I disappoint my parents. I have no idea what the hell's going on. I don't
pretty
understand. We're going to the first subject. How the drunk is this news? Millennial women panic as both baby formula and cat food faces shortages at the same time. Brad, is this affecting your area whatsoever? Have you noticed? I'm not accusing you of being a cat man or needing formula.
Thankfully, we don't need formula anymore. But I did stop by the store the other day, and I was like, I took a peek over there just to see, and we were short on formula. I did not even hear about cat food. Cat food's on a shortage now too.
Yeah, apparently it's not everywhere. It's like certain areas are having a hard time with it, and apparently they're having a hard time sourcing the meats for it because the meat industry is not doing well in general. Like they're having a hard time.
They made all the farmers kill their animals early on in COVID and stuff.
Yep.
And yeah, they threw the whole system off.
And I do have an article to prove that this is not just something I said, but yeah, this one's from Eat This Not That. These are two shortages, grocery staples right now, shoppers say. Grocery shopping for the whole family has been more expensive in 2022, and the USDA says inflation is going to make price hikes go up even more soon. In addition to paying more, though, some items for a few specific household members are actually difficult to find as of right now. Baby formula and pet food are facing shortages at the grocery store, according to shoppers, and it's forcing some companies to react. A sign of sorry for the inconvenience, we're temporarily out of stock due to a national shortage of ingredients. We cannot guarantee a consistent supply. I'm not sure where that photo's from, but it's been months since the supply of baby formula was full. Since the year began, a huge recall for powdered Similac, Alimentum, and Elecare formulas is issued, and supply has not been able to outpace demand. In mid-April, about 30% of popular brands at 11,000 stores were sold out, and now 40 to 50% is gone. On the May 8th, Jen Psaki said the FDA is working around the clock to address any possible shortages. And I'm sure she circled back. As stores like Walmart, Target, Kroger, CVS, Walgreens place purchase limits on how much parents can buy, should there be any available. And they said stuff like, baby formula shortage is getting unreal. No grocery store near us or has the brand we use. It's temporarily out of stock on Amazon Prime. The generic version that is available on Amazon Prime has a 1 to 2 month lead time. Cool. And this is what my wife would have posted had she had a Twitter. People are all arise over the lack of baby formula, which is horrible. But how many cat parents notice the shortage of canned cat food? Is this only in the Southeast? And I will say no. We've been noticing it a lot. We're a little more preppery minded. I don't know if you've heard of Tropical Storm Irene. That was back in 2011, Brad, that severely impacted Vermont. It's like one of the first hurricanes / tropical storms to really just hit Vermont, because it's not it's pretty north and not on the coast. That's not a thing we normally get. So ever since then, we've been fairly we keep supplies around.
Y'all have cats?
I have one, and her name is Dabs.
Cute.
Or the ferocious tiger, as we call her in the Hickory kayfabe.
Mm-hmm.
But are you a cat guy?
No.
Do you have pets?
We have a dog. I've been a dog guy my whole life, but my son really wants a cat, and I'm like, I don't want a cat. They just walk away from the house, and then you don't know where they are. And one day we'll have a cat. My wife had a cat growing up that she loved, and I'm sure we'll end up with one. But
yeah, we have an indoor cat.
I'm sure I'll love it the same once it comes in. But I'm totally a dog guy.
I didn't think I was going to be a cat guy. In fact, I went most of my life hating cats because I had a pretty severe cat allergy. But we got her as a kitten at 9 or 10 weeks or whatever the hell, whenever they're allowed to be sold off. And by the time she grew up, I wasn't allergic to cats anymore. So
there you go.
Or at least I learned to deal with being allergic all the time. Maybe that's what happened, and now I don't notice. I don't know. But
you don't notice the 30 times a day that you're like
sneezing and have red eyes all the time. No, it's because
I love you, Deb.
That's my everyday life. That's
Nick said it's not the building, it's the price of lumber that sucks. In fact, Nick, one contractor we reached out to said, hey, are you going to take out a loan for the building materials? Like, that was his first question before he even like asked how big the deck was going to be or what we were planning. He literally was like, are you taking out a loan for materials? We're like, yeah, dude, it was included in the house. Like, we did all that shit last year. Sean said, did the airplane crash into the wrong food production plant? I don't know. There was like 2 of those, though. There's been a lot of weird, I'm sure you've seen that, a lot of weird food plant fires in the past couple of years.
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of things blowing up before the election, and then nobody talked about it ever again.
Yep.
It was like every other day, somewhere around the world, a factory or something was blowing up, and it was like, oh, another one. Anyway.
Yep. And then in the past like year, it's been like every week or 2, something's gone weird. It's been a lot of production plant facility fires. Mm-hmm. A plane crashed into a parking lot at one and crashed into another food plant somewhere. Just like, yeah, it's been one of those weird things where it's like not enough that anybody's like, oh shit, is something going on? Just enough to be like, oh, that's really not going to help us out considering food's already going to be stupid pricey in November. Mm-hmm. Skidmore says, I have an awesome indoor cat. Me too. I love my indoor kittens. He said, I work in the garage door industry. Our products have increased 40% in the last year.
Holy shit.
That doesn't surprise me, my friend. That's real. I work in food, and food prices are going up, and they don't seem to be getting better. Because now what everyone realizes is when oil goes up, fertilizer goes up, which drives corn and wheat up. Which, even if you're not a big fan of corn and wheat, our meat eats that. And even if you eat local grass-fed beef, as soon as the corn-fed commodity beef starts going up, everything just goes up around it. So it's a multi-level fucking that's going on in the food industry right now. It's brutal.
So I have an idea to solve the baby cat or the baby formula and cat food crisis. Just hear me out here.
Okay, I'm ready to listen, brother.
So we impregnate a bunch of cats, get them to start lactating. Feed that to the babies. If the babies don't survive the cat formula, we feed the babies to the cats.
Okay,
This sounds sustainable, I think. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's America. There's no shortage of cats or unwanted children. So,
Well,
unfortunately, they're both a dime a dozen. That's...
it sounds like an idea you stole from AOC or something. Like, hear me out, okay? Listen. We get the cats pregnant.
Like you specifically, AOC, or another cat? Like
part of the Green New Deal.
We make hybrid cat people.
Oh, hybrid cat people. Nick said, I work in a tractor industry and has been crazy lately. Yeah, I've heard that farming equipment is through the roof, especially for larger operations. One point last year, it was just like the used car market. There was used tractors going for higher than the price of the new ones should be, because nobody could, the new ones were unavailable due to production issues. Yeah. Skidmore said, that's a plan, Foley. See, I think you can get some people on board, bro. It might not be the nicest of plans, but it is a plan. And sometimes
that's what has to be done right now. It's just
sometimes that's better than no plan.
Yeah. It's recycling, it's reducing, it's reusing.
And speaking of awful plans, we have another one. The artificial breast milk, anyone?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got a story from dailymail.com. Artificial breast milk firm that offers environmentally friendly alternative to baby formula gets $3.5 million from investments funded by Gates, Bezos, and Zuckerberg. Biomilk with a Q, because that's
because it's not real milk.
Sounds human.
It's like It's like chicken with the CHKN or whatever. Biomilk has developed a process to replicate the key proteins in human milk. Their milk is easier to digest than formula and has a smaller carbon footprint. The global dairy industry is a key emitter of climate warming greenhouse gases, and it's estimated that about a tenth of such comes from formula production. Basically, it's a startup that got a bunch of money to create artificial milk, which sounds terrifying.
Isn't the timing of that convenient?
It's very, very coincidental, right? It's all just a giant...
Yeah. Oh, hey, we're out of baby formula. You heard of biomilk? It's another of Bill Gates' things. He's on top of it.
He's solving every problem.
Corner. Yeah, he's just there. All the land he owns, and for the he just wants everybody pumped full of chemical.
Nick said you can milk anything with a teat, GW. Skimoro said I like the real stuff.
Stuff where the milk comes from. I care less about the milk.
It almost makes me think of that movie Daywalkers, where they were like trying to come up with artificial blood for vampires, and like the lead vampire was like, no, we could just keep these humans in chains and keep taking their blood. Why do we need artificial? Kind of the opposite, though.
Yeah.
where the Anyways, I don't know where I was going with that.
It's not too far off, is the thing. We'll soon be talking about vampires, I'm sure. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's 2022.
It wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me at all.
Then we actually find out Joe Biden actually is a vampire.
Yeah.
That's why we never really see him out in the daylight.
Oh, now we're talking. We got a good conspiracy.
Here we go.
I'm into a good conspiracy. Let's move into that one. Actually, next we'll say half of Biden's Twitter followers are fake. Sounds about right. Mm-hmm. We got this article. This was reposted by MSN, but I pulled up the Newsweek one for the people who don't believe independent journalists and only really want the big news one. Newsweek: half of Joe Biden's Twitter's followers are fake, audit reveals. Some politics. Posted yesterday. Almost half of Joe Biden's current 22.2 million followers on Twitter. Shouldn't it be 81? I'm just curious. Are fake accounts, according to an audit tool provided by software company SparkToro. SparkToro's tool found that 49.3% of accounts following the official @POTUS Twitter account are fake followers, based on analysis of a number of factors, including location issues, default profile images, and new users. They go on to say, which is even more impressive, because they go into the Elon Musk trying to buy Twitter thing, but they say that Musk's account has more than 93.3 million followers. SparkToro's tool found that 70.2% of those accounts are fake. Which means he's got close to like 63 million fake accounts following him on Twitter. Fascinating.
Who knows what to believe anymore?
Yeah, fascinating stuff when you know that like it would be really cool to watch the people that own Twitter right now get like handed all these fraud lawsuits for defrauding investors and advertisers for having a bunch of fake accounts. That'd be pretty fun to watch. I wouldn't mind sitting back for that.
It is interesting to watch how that parlays in with Biden's stuff, because Biden's whole following, they say 81 million, and then the first thing that they do on his social media is on the White House is they shut down comments.
Yep.
And then they take away the thumbs down because they were getting ratioed so bad. And then you come to find out half of the followers on Twitter are fake. And it's like, where are all these people? Where's the 81 million? Where's at least half of them? No, hey, where's at least a quarter of them? Because, like, it's just, you don't see the... I've had that conversation a lot with people online with, like, when they had the the thumbs up, thumbs down still available. Like the thumbs down was like far surpassed whatever the thumbs up was. It was enormously like ratioed. And, I would be like, it seems like this is, the general consensus of the people. They don't like what this White House is doing, right? And people would be like, well, the White House isn't real, the YouTube isn't real life. And you're like, yeah, but if these were Amazon reviews, you'd be like, oh, I'm not going to buy that. You know what I mean? And so it's just interesting to see how, these things keep adding up over time. And nobody sort of wants to go, even like somebody today was like, well, if you think that it's something about, they came back with a Trump comment about how like, all his stuff got thrown out of the courts or whatever. It's like, let's just remove Trump and examine how Joe Biden got 81 million votes and look at the aftermath of it. Look at his approval rating that keeps going further and further down. Just take Trump out of it and just examine Biden's presidency and how he got there and what it's looked like since he's been in office. It's just it's fascinating.
After a long, strenuous career of corruption, only one man could rise up amongst a Democratic field that had fucking nobody other than Tulsi Gabbard and Bernie if he hadn't lost his mind. Back when Bernie believed in things called borders. I know it was a crazy time back in 2014.
So long ago.
Yeah. Back when Obama was saying marriage is between a man and a woman just in 2008. And now his vice president can't tell you to not cut the genitals off an 8-year-old. It's mind-boggling times we're in. Skidmore said a slow vampire. Talking about Biden. Yes, a very, very slow, bumbling vampire. He also left another comment, which I don't think I can read on YouTube, but we'll address that after in the Rumble show. It looked like that. Nick said VPR was talking about how goat's milk was just as good as breast milk and formula for kids.
Yeah, maybe, but then you have to suck off a goat.
Well, you don't have to. The kid does.
Well, no, I figured it was like the suck and spit method.
Oh, I was like, kids put their mouths anywhere. I guess a goat would be fine. We have a wet nurse goat. Nick said Elon Musk said if he brought Twitter, he'd bring Trump back on there because it was all false. Yes. Yep, he did claim that, and then Trump said he wouldn't come back, and I think if he did, they would just create an account that just reposts from Truth anyways. Yeah. Just like Gab does. I mean, Gab has a Trump account that's not Trump. It just like relays his emails via Gab.
Yeah, I think there already is something like that on Twitter. I think I saw something like that the other day. It's just Trump's Truth or something like that.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, because like I'm pretty sure Torba at Gab set that up like right after he got banned, or maybe even before he got banned on Twitter, where it was just automatically feeding his Twitter feed into a Gab profile that was officially reserved for him if he wanted it. Because I remember there was an offer from Andrew Torba to be like, hey, you should come over to our platform and we'll never ban you. And you can say whatever the fuck you want. Gab's interesting. You ever spend much time over there?
Yeah, that was the first one I signed up for beyond the main, the big guys. Now I'm on just about every one of them, but I'm still kind of just being loud and obnoxious on the big ones for the sake of being loud and obnoxious on the big ones. But I like the other ones too, just fine. They it's just that they're still their own little echo chambers anyway. And so you can
Gab's a weird one because it's like it's super free speech. And like you can pretty much say whatever the hell you want, but there's a really strong Christian vibe on there, which is like this weird duality of like, which always boggles my mind because like you'll see some like, I don't know, occasional something like actually racist once in a while, and then I'll be followed up with like a scenic picture with like a Bible quote. I'm just like, this is the Facebook I always wanted. The one where people actually say their minds, and I could actually read some offensive shit once in a while, but also be reminded that, like, hey, this rain was beautiful today. You know, it's like a picture of a rainstorm. They'll be like, I'm so blessed for this moment. Yeah. We really needed this water. And I'm just like, hot damn, this is an interesting platform. I love it.
The ideal internet, isn't it? That you can actually scroll past something and let it not bother you if you're offended by it.
Or if you're really offended by it, you put it in your block options and it doesn't
show
up.
Yeah.
Which I don't, because I like to see things I'm offended by once in a while, because it reminds me of what the left must feel like all the time.
I think everyone likes saying things that they're offended by.
I know, but I don't complain about them.
Oh, no. Well, no.
I enjoy
I'm not saying that. Like, I'm offended by a lot of crap on my Facebook feed. And I'm just like, this is awful. And you're stupid. I'm
more offended by the stupidity I see on Facebook than, like, the actual content half the time. Usually like, wait, really? You're really it's really how you feel about that? That's the, no, it's mind-boggling how dumb people are.
You know, it's funny, as we were talking about this, the whole thing about free speech on the internet has become like, well, we want people to be able to see the right information, and it comes across in a way that's like, oh, they don't trust us to make up our own mind when it comes to information that's out there. But I was just watching this clip. Did you see this this clip of this lady? She was being asked today about whether she was an abortion activist, and she was asked if men can have babies and have abortions. And
I almost pulled that up for the show.
Yeah, and she was like, she said, yes, I believe people can make their own choices. And it's like, why can people make their own choices when it comes to that? When it comes to men being able to have babies and abortions, which, listen to the words coming out of your mouth.
And breastfeed. And,
yeah. And then when it comes to information on the internet, like, oh, they're not able to make the distinction of what's, what's right for them and what's not. It's mind-boggling.
It is craziness. We're at about 53. We're gonna hop over to the after show. Get into a couple more topics over there. Brad has a new single. It came out this past Friday. Yeah, you want to plug that? And anything else, Brad?
Yeah, sure. I got a new single out called "Fight for You," and it's really special song. Debuted it last month at Defeat the Mandates in LA and performed it on stage in front of just a handful of the vaccine injured. Although I don't know if I can say that here on YouTube. I forgot we're on YouTube. But those injured by the V, or however you say it and get around it. But the video's up on my YouTube. You can watch it, and their stories are important. Look into them. You can check out react19.org to hear to find out more about their stories and what they went through. But the new single's "Fight for You," and the artwork was done by incredible artist illustrator Bob Moran, and he drew an awesome illustration for the cover, and
beautiful.
And really came through on that. Incredible guy, incredible artist, making important illustrations for these times. So it's out there right now. It's on Apple, iTunes, Amazon, Spotify, Bandcamp, all that good stuff.
Nice. Go visit them at 5timesaugust.com and on all social platforms at 5timesaugust. Next, that good show as usual. Thank you, Nick. Good to see you, brother. GW. I love you. We'll see you in the after show. Any shout outs?
Let me get the date. The 28th of May, we'll Hickory host at
Saturday Night Sideshow.
Club. Yes, Saturday Night Sideshow. I don't know what my sideshow topic is going to be, but
it'll be a wild one.
Think of something.
That's pretty much it for episode 3. We'll see you guys over on the after show on Rumble. Be there in about ending video is about 2 minutes and 6 seconds. We'll see you then. Until next time, everybody, stay drunk, stay underwhelming. Most importantly, stay safe. In these trying times, try not to kill your neighbor. Let's go, Brandon.
Are you saying you want to show me your tits? This is a weird show.